And hello there, welcome to Sister Sister, your favorite all-female talk show right here on Citi FM and Citi TV. My name is Jessica. Thanks for joining me once again. It's a brand new week with lots of prospects, of course. And today we're going to be getting into relationships, as we always do. Lots of people are going through different things, and we pretty much are their sounding board. And we like that very much. Thank you very much. So if you're out there and you have questions that you'd like to send into the show, please do so. And if you already have sent something, no worries as well. If your question or your message doesn't feature on the show today, chances are it will feature in the very near future. Plus, on our Sister Sister page on Facebook, sometimes we put out some of your questions there as well. So just keep an eye out for them on our social media. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, I introduce the ladies on the show today and we set the ball rolling. Thanks for joining us once again. It's Sister Sister. And you're welcome back, Sister Sister, Citi TV, Citi FM. We're also live across Sub-Saharan Africa on DSTV channel 363. Okay, so now that you know exactly how you can be part of the show and reach us as well, let me say hello to my sisters. I've got Sabby, who's joining us all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. What's going on, Sab? Everything all right?
Everything's fabulous.
I can tell. Red lipstick and things. You're looking radiant. Like, what are we missing?
Yeah, some of these things we'll have to talk about offline.
Oh, hello. I like the sound of that already. Super stuff. It's good to see you, and thanks for joining us from Joburg, as always.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Right. Let's also say hello to my sisters in studio. Of course, we have the usual suspects, Rosina, in-house, and
Jessica.
Olivia. Ladies. So good to see you, as always. It's another week.
Good to see you too. Just I can't see my smile.
I know, the mask is
but
worrying.
it's necessary.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
And Minnie Mouse is represented today.
I know, right?
I didn't know you were a Minnie Mouse fan.
After you have kids, right?
I know, right?
Automatically
Yeah, doing all the fancy Nancy's and Mickey. Oh man.
Then you randomly start singing like
I know, right?
the nursery rhymes and whatnot.
And the sad part is that even when you're sleeping, you're still watching the cartoons.
Oh.
Exactly. You have to keep yourself
all good.
updated.
But your kids are older.
Yeah, they're older. It's a phase, and it's a beautiful phase to enjoy, actually.
She does other forms of cartoons now.
Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Preach, baby.
Ladies. Our WhatsApp number 054-998-6996. You can send an email to jessica@citifmonline.com as well. Search for us on Facebook at Sister Sister LIVE, Sister Sister Live. Like our page, send us a DM, drop a comment on the page. We love to hear from you. Right, we'll go to our first message for today. It says, sisters, I'm really dumbfounded about my issue. I'm not one to share my marital problems with anyone, but this issue is beyond me. So there's this prophetess in my husband's life. According to him, she's the reason he can have an erection. We've been married for 7 years, and I just found out that any day we had sex, he slept with the prophetess in order to have an erection. Let me shed more light. He had to sleep with this prophetess on our wedding day before he could have an erection and eventually sleep with me in the evening. Any day we have sex, he would have to sleep with her first. The day my husband confided in me, I couldn't believe my ears, so I told him to stay at home that weekend so I can ascertain that he truly could not have an erection without sleeping with her. To my astonishment, he could not get it up. The whole of Saturday and Sunday, no matter what I did to him. I told him to watch porn, but he still didn't get a hard-on. He decided to pay a visit to the prophetess. And can you imagine he came back with a hard-on ready for sex? Jess, I couldn't sleep with him. I haven't been able to do that since December last year. The fact that any time he slept with me meant he slept with someone else shook me to the bone. My husband loves me, and I don't think he's having an affair with her, but I also don't understand how come he can't have sex with me without this woman's involvement. We've been to the hospital and the doctor says there's nothing medically wrong with him. Does it mean we're not sexually compatible, or is this just witchcraft at work? I don't find my husband attractive anymore after the revelation. This is a good man I love with all my heart, and I know he loves me too. I honestly don't know if this is the kind of man I want to be sleeping with, if this is his fate. How do we do this? We have 2 kids together. Yeah, I cannot believe what I just read. But yeah. Which of you ladies wants to go first? Rose. Savvy? Savvy, talk to me, girl. What's running through your mind?
You guys. Hit me with the first. Okay. First of all, I'd like to say that your husband's having an affair.
Thank you.
For me, personal opinion, your husband's having an affair. And this is I can totally understand why she's not sleeping with him right now, because it's such a, what's the word? But it's devastating, especially when you realize it's been happening since they were married. And so I can only, or since their wedding night, and I can only assume that before they got married, they weren't being intimate. And so for me, I want to know, how did it come about that this guy knew to go to a prophetess for his problem? And how did it come about that the way to fix this was to sleep with her? How does that help him? Like, what is the long-term goal? They've been married for a long, long time. So is the long-term goal that from now until he dies, he's going to sleep with the prophetess in order to sleep with his wife? I'm not there. I don't know these people. I can't make assumptions, but this doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And so I'm a little bit confused. Is he telling her the honest truth? But also at the same time, she says she tried everything on Saturday and Sunday and he didn't get a hard on. You can't fake that. So I just feel like this is a medical problem. This is a medical problem. It's either that or he's not attracted to her. He's attracted to the prophetess. You know, there's such a thing as where you can be a couple, but not necessarily be sexually attracted to the person. If he's seen doctors and they're saying that there's no problem, I'm just a little wary about the story, and I'm also a little wary about whether he is still in love with her. And I would like to know if they've ever considered going to therapy and really delving into the questions, because she says she loves him and he loves her. So it means that this is a very, very difficult thing for her. She doesn't necessarily want to leave him, but I mean, as any woman, how do you become intimate with your husband when you know he's being intimate with someone else? Not only before he sleeps with you, but for years. So even before they even think about sex, they're going to have to do a lot of healing and try and figure out what is the root cause of this. Because I'm telling you now, there's a root cause. I'm not going to say whether it's normal or not, but there's a root cause. And the way she's speaking, she cannot carry on with this marriage the way it is. They need to really, really delve in and look at stuff. The fact that he can't get it up just with her, I would say creates trauma. And usually when someone has trauma, they isolate themselves. And so it might be that the prophetess has now represented safety. He feels vulnerable around her. He feels safe. He feels he can be whoever he needs to be, maybe with her, than his wife. Those are all things that need to be looked at before they even consider having sex. And then number 2, he's got to stop sleeping with the prophetess. That's what I got to say.
Right. Let's bring it in-house. Olivia.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So Sabi has talked about it from a completely physical point of view. Trying therapy, going to the hospital, all of that's not working. You see, sex is, how do I put this? Sex is a very, very interesting act. Every time you engage in sex with anybody, your soul is actually tied with the person. However we want to look at it, I cannot explain it, I cannot understand it, but that's what it is. You end up becoming, having your soul completely intertwined with that person. For me, right, they've gone to the hospital, they've tried a lot of things, it didn't work. It's been going on for years. They've actually managed to have 2 kids out of this. I think it's more spiritual. And hello, like, what kind of prophetess is this? Like, call a spade a spade. There are actually good men and women of God out there, but clearly this one is definitely not one of them. No real proper Christian prophetess, Bible reading prophetess, somebody who actually is like a woman of God, will not sleep with your husband. How can you be a prophetess and be sleeping with somebody else's husband and claim to be of Christ? Like, at which point in time did the Bible actually say it's okay to go out there and to be sleeping with people's wives and come out there and preach to people and say you're a woman of God? Like, that's so not called for. Even in the Bible, my guy, go and check. There was a prophet who married a prostitute. And even when the prostitute was going out of the marriage, he was upset about it. And that was just used as an example as to tell us how much God appreciates us. But that's just by the by. But in real life, there's no way this guy should be seeing this woman as a prophetess or a woman of God. There's nothing godly about her. She's living in sin and she's complicating matters. And I don't know what she's done spiritually to your husband, but sweetheart, she's completely voodooized your husband. She's probably used his sperm for all sorts of things. He's under a spell. However you want to look at it, there is physical stuff and there's spiritual stuff. We live in the real world. We can't take one and leave the other. This is not normal as far as I'm concerned, because you've gone to the hospital, doctors are telling you that your husband should be normal. Why doesn't he have an erection when he sees you or when it's time for him to be intimate with you? Could there be a mental block? Clearly, this guy wants to have sex with you. If he didn't want to have sex with you, he wouldn't have decided to stay home with you on Saturday and Sunday and just to wait to have an erection. Like, I mean, at this point, I can't even recommend any of my recipes because it's just not going to work. Yeah. It's just not going to work. So there has to be a complete, how do I put it? There has to be a way whereby he can completely disconnect from this woman. And I don't know how. I don't know how even spiritual you are, how spiritual he is as a Christian, a proper Bible reading, faith believing Christian. This is crazy. It's such a crazy mess. I don't even know how you're going to start from. I don't know what church you attend. And can we be a bit more, I don't know, can we sometimes use common sense besides just going to church, any kind of church, and thinking that whatever the pastor says that's it. If your pastor says, I want to sleep with you because he says he wants to, like, can we, like, God gave us all wisdom. God gave us all, if we ask for the spirit of discernment, God has given us the spirit of discernment. Clearly, this woman should not be sleeping with your husband. Right. Moving on, I don't think you should be in that church. I think you need to do a lot of fasting and praying for your husband. So it depends on what her husband actually thinks as well, whether her husband is ready and committed to actually go through the entire personal deliverance process, a walk with God. Besides that, I really don't know. I have a personal relationship with Jesus and he does amazing stuff in my life. This is my personal walk with God. And I can't sit here and say that God hasn't been good to me or he hasn't done miracles in my life, because he has. The reason why he has is because I read the Bible and I have a personal relationship with God and I have the spirit of discernment to be able to discern and say, yo, Master, yes, as much as this man of God is standing there talking, no, I really don't agree with what he's saying, because I'm entitled to have an opinion and I'm also entitled to have basic common sense. Right. So you need to go on a personal walk with God. He needs to fast, he needs to pray, and you both need to do it collectively together. Right. And hopefully something good should happen. And find a Bible-believing, proper church to go. If you don't have any, call me. I would recommend my church. God is good.
Good stuff. All right. Rosina, this matter. You need sanitizer.
Let me sanitize my hands so that by inference, the sanitizer will sanitize my lips. So that what I'll say will be sanitized. See, this is religious manipulation that has gone into religious brainwashing, period. You see, it's not medical. You see, the same way we have men of God telling women that unless I sleep with you and do da-da-da-da-da with you, you can't conceive a child for your man, or some blessings are coming your way, you have to travel, but to unlock it, quote unquote, I don't know, my penis has to help unlock this thing, and then they have to do all manner of things, or they have to watch the area, they have to insert some things personally to you. And the thing is that you see, human beings, when it comes to religion, look, religion is a group of people that have gotten together to want to interpret what God's plan for people are, based on what they feel they've experienced, what has been passed on to them, etc., etc. Because trust me, if I was born in a Muslim home, the likelihood of being Muslim is very high. If I was born in a Christian home, high. If I was an Indian, the likelihood of being Hindu would be very, very high. You understand? So there are a few cut crosses, the good experience, and then they, but the thing is that religion really is actually a way of life, a way of controlling the masses, a way of keeping people in check, getting people to adhere to certain moral standards. Now, over the period, people have gotten lazy. Even the books that have been written, be it by man or by God, they have good things in them, but they have various interpretations. See, this same book rewarded somebody to be a king, just even though he took over somebody's wife, or he took somebody's wife, later became a king. You understand? So sometimes such religious leaders use the same book, manipulate it, and then make you feel like what you are doing is not new. It's been done before, and this is the reward. Number two, most of them are psychologists and they are experts. They are just people who know how. Look, this girl is probably a sex expert. She knows how to get people in the mood. She knows what to say, how to say it, when to say it. And she is hiding under the guise of Christianity or under the guise of being a prophetess. Look, prophets do horrible things. When you complain, they say, touch not my anointed. Haven't you heard that in this country several times?
You hear that.
Prophets do abominable things. And you complain and they say, there's a scripture that says, touch not my anointed. But who determines who is anointed and who is not? In as much as, yes, they brand themselves priests, prophetess, we are also discerning human beings. When something is wrong, it's wrong. You understand? So, that being said, now, when somebody has been brainwashed to feel that his only solution to an acceptable erection is through that prophetess's, you understand? That prophetess's this thing. Forever, that's what he has gone to believe, and he has done it consistently for more than 7 years. Charlie. Because it didn't start on the wedding night. So this is something he's done over the period, and he has now begun to believe it. It's like telling a lie to yourself. If you tell it long enough, you begin to believe it. True. So now he believes it. Now, he stayed at home for 3 days, but mentally, his belief took over the practical. So mentally, he's like, no. For all you know, the prophetess has even threatened him that the day that you do this,
he will die
without my explicit whatever,
it won't work.
Either it won't work, or this will not, or maybe you lose it forever. It will never happen for you, or you will lose this, or you lose that. So out of fear, you put your thing in check. No matter what pornography you are watching, put things in check. And you see, when you hold somebody down and say no, today you do it. So I'm keeping you at home for 2-3 days. It's an artificial environment. It's not natural. And because it's not natural and it's artificial, it will be very difficult for him to come to that point, because like you are testing it. It's like telling somebody that I can get you angry. Let's do it. Let's start. You know that I'm doing what I'm doing to get you angry, or I'm going to say something, I want you to laugh. You try so hard not to laugh because I've told you I want to laugh. You understand? Like, I want you to laugh. You understand? That's how it is. So once he has told you what he's told you, and my thing is that, listen, he's been able to keep it away from you for 7 years. This is what I think, my honest opinion. My honest opinion is that he and this woman have been involved in this thing long ago. Yes, the woman may be a prophetess or something, but they are in a relationship. They're in a relationship mutually. They know what they're about. Maybe they want to take it to the next level, where they no longer have to hide it from you that they're in a relationship. So he's hiding under the guise of, oh, she's a prophetess, and this is what she says. And for him to be able to back his story, he had to mentally control himself. So that is proof that without the prophetess's input, I cannot also serve you. So that now, as a woman, if you claim that you love me so much, let's keep this in the marriage, because this is what marriage is all about. Now, you have to help me to help you. So which means that in perpetuity from now on, if you want this, then it means that you have to approve of me being with the prophetess before I come and be with you. Now, you've had your 2 children already. So really, if you want to go, you can go. Carry your children and go. And now he and the prophetess, quote unquote, will now have a proper relationship. That's what I think. So I think that, look, he and this woman, maybe they go to the same church. They've been at it for long. But for one reason or the other, they couldn't get married. And he's hiding under the guise or the fact that she's a prophetess to come up to cook this fantastic story. And sometimes because you're in love with him, you want to give that story the benefit of the doubt. But I think this is just either a story, either a fantastic manipulation of the man's brain, or, like Olivia said, they've used his brain for some spiritual orchestration. Yeah. I don't want, you know what I mean? Yeah, they've done something. So he's not thinking straight. Now, when things like that happen, sometimes saying, Charlie, I don't know. So all I'll tell you is that, he has told you that all the times he has slept with you for 7 years, every time he's been able to satisfy you, it is from satisfying somebody first. And after you tried it and it didn't happen, he went to see her with your knowledge, came back, and the thing was up, ready to fire. So, my dear, ask yourself, is this something you want to endure for the rest of your life? Let's be frank. You see, sometimes let's not hide behind the guys who are cheating. The man has lied to you for 7 years, 84 months plus. Lied to you consistently, looked you in the face, told you in church that I love you, told you that, oh, you be my da-da-da-da, has 2 children with you. It took him 7 years to tell you that as many times as he's been intimate with you, he's been intimate with this other prophetess. And I'm sure this is somebody that you have welcomed in your home, probably cooked, welcome for lunch. Come on. There's a lot more to this. There's deceit, there's mistrust, there's so many things coming at play here. Look, if you know, listen, 7 years marriage, I'm sure before knowing this, maybe we thought you were having a happy marriage. So it's not up to me to say, Charlie, leave. But if you know that this is something you cannot condone consistently from December till now, okay, it's just 1 month. Maybe after 2-3 months you might forget. But trust me, if you know that you cannot forgive him, you cannot move on, you can't have this arrangement, my dear, don't lie to yourself. Yeah. The quicker, the better.
I mean, I'm just asking myself, so when the prophetess dies, he'll be impotent forever. He's literally taken. She's taken the erection away. It's
messed up.
I mean, if I were this lady, I will not be able to live like that. I mean, the moment I found out that this was what was going on, that would have been the end of the relationship for me.
And how many people? The prophetess, how many people is she curing that way?
Thank you.
See, the risks are just too many.
That's crazy.
It's not worth it. And Charlie, just for her sanity's sake, I think she really needs to just look at this marriage again. Good luck. May says it's psychological. Don't mind him. He's enjoying the woman in the name of prophetess. You have no idea how poisonous religion can be. They've teamed up to cheat on you and traumatize you as well. Jennifer says, this is unfortunate, my dear. It's spiritual. But anything that has been done can be undone. I pray you get a good person to help you through it. Senna says, Madam, please, you and your husband should have a personal relationship with God. Cry to him because he has given us power to command mountains. And believe me, you will come out victorious. Mustafa says, this is nothing but witchcraft. Your husband confided in you because I'm sure he no longer is happy with what's happening. So don't give up on him now. You must be ready to fight spiritual battles if you want to keep your husband and your family together. Nothing is above and beyond God. Remember that. Oheneyere says, the woman has bewitched your husband. You've got to pray intensely for him before you lose him to her. You need to prepare yourself for war in your household. Mercy says, that prophetess is a witch. You better seek spiritual help and pray hard. She probably is using him for her own stuff. And please, she doesn't deserve to be called a prophetess because no Bible teaches this. And finally, Octavia says, wear a G-string and drop something on the floor in front of him and pretend to be picking it up with your bum staring him in the face. Trust me, he will be erect for the rest of the year. I'm sure she tried that, but yeah, it doesn't sound like it's that simple. Anyway, we'll go for a commercial break. It's Sister Sister. Remember, the show is brought to you by Vodafone. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back, Sister Sister, on Citi TV and Citi FM. Yes, remember, our WhatsApp number is open. It's available. Send us a message, 054-998-6996. A message from Obed says, I've dated my girlfriend for 4 years, and in that span of time, we have been intimate. Recently, my elder brother and my girlfriend's cousin started dating, and I've also been intimate. I worry that in our society and traditional setting, it's a taboo because they've also been intimate. Now, I don't know if my girlfriend and I should break up because I think two brothers can't date from the same family. Please help me out because I love my girlfriend a lot and I want to be with her for the rest of my life. What should I do? Should I break up or stay in the relationship with her?
I'm confused.
You get it? So no. Two brothers dating from the same family, so to speak. So there's the guy's girlfriend, and then there's his cousin, the girl's cousin. Do you understand? So he has slept with his girlfriend, obviously, and then his brother has slept with his girlfriend's cousin, and he feels like they're in the same family. Oh. So it's a taboo. So he's wondering whether he should back off from his girlfriend. Oh. But it depends, though.
No, but there's nothing wrong with it.
There's no direct
it's not
blood
like sister.
tie.
See, no, but
they're both from external families who are marrying into the same family.
No, there are two brothers, presumably one mother, one father, who are getting married or who are interested in two women.
In the same family.
Relationship between those two women is that they are cousins.
So
I don't see anything wrong with this.
Neither do I.
You see, I don't see anything wrong with this because I don't see anything wrong with it. The problem would have been, let's say, even if you were cousins, but even then, it depends on your tribe and it depends on the nature of the cousins, whether you are blood cousins
whether it's first
cousins, second cousins, or whether
all those things matter.
Yeah. So we even have, my dad and my mom are related.
Are they?
You know, my dad and my mom are related.
I would be surprised.
Most of us be married.
What does that mean?
We all like brother and sister.
Right.
So when you have an argument and you're going to settle
in the same house,
people should go and settle. You people are brother and sister because you're just maybe across town. Most of us, our parents, we're close.
Interesting.
Your dad is from Keta, mommy from Anyako, Angroga, Keta, that kind of thing. So you realize that we're all cousins. We're all very related. Maybe second cousins, third cousins, but we can draw the line and get a common relative between both of us. So it's not a big deal if the two ladies are cousins, because in some cases, even second cousins can get married.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that, look, if you genuinely like the person, sometimes these things, you bring them up as issues if you want a way out. So you're looking for an excuse. Yeah. That's what I think.
Right.
And back in the day, didn't we have two brothers go into a certain family? Back in the day, they used to have plenty sisters, and then two brothers. Oh, this girl, I like this girl. Oh, this, like you
another family member choice. Would,
and then you just walk out of there.
Also for mommy, I can't remember this Bible story well. Jacob and was it Jacob in Esau? Like, weren't there two brothers in the Bible?
Yes, so
who
there was
married from the same
Jacob.
family?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's just Jacob. Jacob
just
married
Jacob?
two sisters. He wanted to marry Rachel,
Right.
but he couldn't get Rachel, so he had to do the whole long term, and then afterwards he ended up marrying.
Yes, after 7 years or so.
Yes, exactly. So
Anyway.
the sister was disguised, so like he worked. Yeah, so basically he married two sisters in the same family.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can happen. I don't see anything wrong with it. Two brothers, you're all not shagging the same girl. You're all not doing like really.
If the two cousins were at it, or maybe they were first cousins, maybe their fathers are brothers, and
that might be a bit tricky.
But
Exactly. There's no direct black ties.
No.
And I think depending on how the relationship goes, it'll actually bring all of you really closer together, because then the families are more closer, more stronger. Can you imagine two sisters having the same child and having children, and then you guys are also brothers? Like, I think it's cool. In this one, they're not sisters and brothers, they're cousins, so it's not bad.
He wants an excuse to step out.
I don't think so, but I also don't think that. I think your main problem is that you're both sleeping with these girls and you don't know whether
it's wrong.
Unless, of course,
right.
maybe because they live in the same house. You know, sometimes, even though they are cousins, because they live in the same house, maybe he feels that people will think that they are siblings and you are kind of like both of you are kind of just moving in and just splitting the siblings.
Yeah,
but then again,
so don't be having sex with them. Find out whether what you're doing is right. Do some background information. Don't be having sex. Do things the right way. Don't have sex with them.
They have already done it.
Yeah,
too late.
But it's too late. But stop it for your own conscience. Stop having sex with them. Do the background information. Find out some more checks as to what you guys want to do. Know what you want to do. Decide whether you want to marry them or not. Find out from the family. Oh, Charlie, what's up? But at least you know what you're doing. You can do things the right way. Marry them. And then have sex with them.
I'm curious to know what happens, like, typically in South Africa, Sabi. Is that a thing or not? Like, is it okay to marry a cousin or marry into the same family?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I mean, I don't understand what this guy's issue is.
Okay.
But also, like, he's mentioned something twice. The fact that he's intimate with his girlfriend and his brother's is he feeling guilty for being intimate with this girl?
Yes.
And also, who told him? Has somebody said something to him? Because then he mentions traditional setting, it's taboo, and society. Which society is this? So I think for me, I'd like to take it back to him and just make him really like ask himself some questions. And what about the situation makes him uncomfortable? Because there's no incest here. He's been with this woman for 4 years and he really loves her. So why does he need to give her up? So is it because someone in the family has said something? Does it come from a family where there's not supposed to be sex before marriage? I don't know. I sense guilt. And I'm just trying to figure out, where's this guilt coming from? I mean, you know, it's not incest. It's two brothers who happen to be in love with girls from the same family. They're not even sisters. So, I don't know. I think this is more about him. He needs to really reflect and just ask himself a few questions. I'm not understanding what about this makes him uncomfortable. So is it in his mind that he thinks that it's going to be looked down upon? Or did somebody say something and therefore he's feeling overwhelmed and guilty? Or is this a thought process that he himself has and thinks that it's not right? And if that's the case, is he willing to give up someone he proclaims to love? That's all I can say.
All right. Yeah. Well, you've heard our opinions. I don't know what more to add to it. For me, so far as they're not first cousins, it's not uncomfortable. So I'll leave it there. But you should actually find out how things are done in your family, just to make sure that, you know, you're not crossing any line, so to speak. So let us know. Okay, we'll move on to our next message. Maybe we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll take that. And you're welcome back, Sister, on Citi TV, Citi FM. Message here says, "Hi, sisters. I need your advice concerning an issue with my baby mama and me. At the latter part of 2018, I fell into this lady's trap, which resulted in pregnancy without my knowledge. Now, the story is the lady happened to be my casual friend. I didn't know she had developed interest in me until I visited her one day in her single-room apartment, and this girl started seducing me. She told me she had feelings for me, and before I realized, the girl was half naked, and things, happened. We ended up having sex, an act I regret till today. Now, after the incident, we stopped communicating until she called me 3 months later to tell me that she was carrying my seed. What? Note that she took money from me after we had sex that she was going to buy contraceptives. Little did I know that she didn't. Sisters, I was dumbfounded. All I asked was whether she was sure I was responsible, and she said yes. Then I asked her to keep it. I manned up, told my family, and we went to see her people. I performed all their tradition demanded regarding the pregnancy. Sisters, apparently this lady wanted me to marry her, and that's why she trapped me. But I made her aware that I cannot marry her just because I got her pregnant. Besides, we don't know much about each other since we're just casual friends. Fast forward. Our daughter's 1.5 years old now. But the problem is her mother has been cold towards me since the day I told her I can't marry her. I call her most of the time to check on her and the baby, even though she told me she will never waste her time to call me. She also doesn't appreciate the little support I've been offering her, i.e., I'm currently not employed, but I'm hoping for the best. I'm in a new relationship now, and my girlfriend has been supportive. Sisters, what should I do about my baby mama since she doesn't appreciate the little effort that I'm giving? Besides, she doesn't respect me either. And that's a message coming in from Dennis in Takoradi. Livy, this one's for you.
Wow. This is a mess. This is such a mess. It breaks my heart every time when kids are brought into messy situations like this, because children are innocent, and I always say that kids don't ask to be brought here. Like, no matter how she seduced you, like, you couldn't use protection. Like, what's up with that? Anyways, let me give it to the girl a little bit, and then I'll give it to you later. Women out there, young women out there, I mean, it's hard time. Like, sex is not love, and sex cannot be equated to love. The fact that you sleep with someone or you decide to sleep with someone does not necessarily mean that they will love you or they love you. Sex to some people is just sex, and that's what it is. You can't force people to love you just because they had sex with you or just because you decided to have sex with them. There's two different things. It's either people love you for who you are or they don't. That's why when you get married and you decide to have sex, you're making love. When somebody loves you and they're making love to you, they're making love to you. They're not just having sex with you. So, this girl trying to use sex, not just that, she decided to get herself pregnant because it was all a plan. I'm sure she waited till she was ovulating, and then she did her thing, and then it was very sweet me, sweet you, and then the baby came. So, like, it was planned, and for me, it's very worrying. Clearly, she thought that was the best way, or that's what she could do to completely, like, get your attention and pin you down. Clearly, it's obvious that you can't use a child to pin a man down. If they love you, they love you. And then they say, Charlie, they're in for real. So this lady, I really don't know what she's expecting of you, and I can understand how you also feel. You genuinely do not love her. I don't see you loving her anytime soon, because ideally, if you had a little bit of love for her, you could have decided, oh, okay, this is what it is. Besides doing the whole traditional rights thing for the child, you could have considered, okay, and yes, at least we are friends. Maybe we can make it work. But you don't see you making it work. But you too, my guy, I don't know what your issue is. So you told her that you don't want to marry her, and she's also reaping the benefits of your reaction because she's upset. that she's done everything, according to her, right? She's done everything in this world to make you love her. She's had sex with you, she's gotten a child for you, she loves you so much, and still you had the audacity to tell her that, Charlie, whatever she does, Charlie, you are definitely not going to marry her. I mean, she'll go, bo. She'll be upset, she'll be bitter. She's giving you the
cold shoulder.
The what?
Cold shoulder.
The cold shoulder, and you can't handle it. So, like, what do you want? You want to be like baby papa, and you want to be in her life, and
baby daddy.
Baby daddy. It's Olivia.
No, this is my version. You want to be baby? No, you want to be baby papa.
Baby papa. Baby papa.
And you want her to be affectionate towards you. She's not going to be affectionate towards you anytime. It's like, and now you happen to be in a relationship, and you still want her to be nice to you because, Charlie, you're really forcing, and you don't have a job, and you're giving her money to take care of the child. So she should be what? She should be nice so that you can come in and do it. And like, my guy, like, what do you want? Like, she's tired of you. Okay, this is a clear case of everything gone wrong from both sides. Okay, right now, my worry is this child, and I think that your focus should be on getting a job to be able to take care of this child. If you think that over the years, maybe you're feeling bad or whatever, you think that you want to make things work with this girl, then sit down and have a conversation with her and tell her that, Charlie, I think that, you know, your silent treatment or your cold shoulder is really not working. So I don't know. I can't see what you want. But if you say you don't want her, you don't want her, allow her to grieve in her own way that she wants to grieve. Allow her to be bitter. Allow her to do whatever she wants to do. She doesn't owe you jack. She doesn't owe you anything. Do what it is that you have to do. Continue taking care of the child. And I think call it a day. But next time also, don't decide that there's no such thing as free sex. No sex is free. No sex is free, however you want to look at it. So make sure that you just don't get seduced by any Tom, Dick, and Harry. And hopefully this is your girlfriend to you. Tell her that this is what's going on. If she wants to be in a relationship with you, okay. If not to. But Charlie, try and get a job and focus on taking care of the child.
Right. Sabby, let me come to you. So Dennis is asking, what does he do about his baby mama? She does not respect him either.
I'd like this guy to also start first and foremost by reframing this experience. He used the word, I was trapped. He wasn't trapped. He wasn't trapped. It wasn't a shock. He was doing what patriarchy does. Here's the money. Go sort it out yourself. And you didn't do what you said you were going to do? Oh my God, she took off her clothes and I didn't know what to do. I just found us together. No, my brother, you were not. You knew what you were doing, and you were not ready, but you knew. So I'm sorry, you weren't trapped. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say here is that there is a lot of animosity, and this is a high conflict situation. Do you understand? This guy, in his mind, he's thinking that he can co-parent with this girl. You know, he can do what he wants, pay here, pay there. It's not going to happen. The same way his family went to her family to do the rights for the child. Things must be put in place. At this point in time, these people should not communicate. These people should not be communicating. You know, there's different ways of co-parenting. The one mother and the one mother, they can talk together. Discussions can be had when the child is older about where pickups are, where drop-offs are. But this guy cannot expect this girl to just be normal and move on, because the ego has been bruised. At the same time, if it is true that she did this knowingly, she herself cannot be angry with him. No promises were made. They were not together. This is the choice that she made willingly. So I'm sorry to say, but neither of these people matter. The only person that matters in this equation is the child. And I would hate to see a situation where the child is used as a pawn to make a point. You were never in love. This is not a love story. He is never going to be with you. You are never going to be with each other. You made a conscious decision to bring a child into this world. It's time for everybody to grow up, put their big girl panties and big boy pants on, and raise a child. Think about this as a human being who's going to grow up, who's going to have questions, who's going to have needs, and who's going to be loved. The only person that's important at this point is the child. And if it means that there needs to be rules made in regards to communication and as little communication as possible, then so be it. There are other family members here that can assist, if that is the point. Maybe sometime down the road they'll be able to work on this, but they both need to own their role in this and understand that the most important person is the child, not them.
Okay, you make your point succinctly. All right, so Rosina, you have the final word.
Sabi has just kind of like, the lady has no right to be angry.
Yeah.
That right that Olivia is talking about, I'm not seeing the right. See, every action comes with its consequences. Even when two people are in love and have decided that they want to get married, even then, it's not guaranteed that they'll be together. Because it is not a joke.
Yeah.
You understand? So how much more when you want to seduce a man, or you want to, for want of a better way, trap a man with a baby to get married? Fine, that's on the side. Are you to the man? Haven't you heard of how Joseph ran away from Potiphar?
Yeah?
Potiphar's wife, Charlie.
Ooh, preach.
I'm saying that, look, you see, sometimes when the communication starts, you should know where it's ending. Unless, of course, you and I, you are dense up there. Yeah. You get into one single room, she starts playing some music. Communication starts going in a certain way. She starts touching you. She prepares some food for you. Charlie, at some point, you should start thinking of making excuses to flee.
Yeah. You did
but
want to
you
flee.
also saw an opportunity
to get free sex.
To tap something for free and run. So you can add it to, I mean to do some. I'll go there some. You understand? And unfortunately, she decided to make sure that there was evidence that you have gone there for life. You understand? So the thing is that one party made a conscious decision and said, this is a good guy who will be a man for me. Didn't have the patience to go through the process of probably getting to know each other, courting each other. She decided to take the shortcut. This one too decided to take an available food. Didn't know how it was made. Didn't know who did it. Didn't know the consequences behind it. Decided to chop. Now you're living the consequences. See, I don't know why he's even worried.
I know, right?
Like Sadie said, the most important thing is the child. And you're with somebody else who is supportive. I'm assuming that your supportive means that she knows about the other child, understands the circumstances, and is willing to even help you support the child from a distance. Nobody should ever use a child to trap him into marriage. Yeah. Marriage should be something that you want to be in, because marriage is not easy. At some point, even the love dies out. At some point, even the butterflies and Charlie, there are serious issues to think about. Fees and things.
Charlie, no time for butterflies.
No, the only thing that sustains it is that the knowledge that this is my choice.
Yeah.
And that energy is what makes you or pushes you to want to work on it to overcome the hurdles that come with the marriage. So my dear, you never intended to marry the woman, but you made a mistake by going there, chopping that free food. It wasn't free. The consequence is that there's another human being that has come out of it. That will be your responsibility for life.
For life.
The woman too, you decided to give it on a silver platter, thinking that because a child comes out of it, you're going to lock him down. It doesn't happen. So both of you should live with your consequences. The only thing both of you have to do is to take care of the child, period.
Well said. Well said. Nothing more to add, Charlie. Get a job, yeah.
Yeah, get a job.
Get a job.
Yeah, get a job, yeah.
Yeah.
Get a job. We'll end the show
and keep
here.
your pants on.
And keep your pants on.
The ladies done the small no.
He's getting his standing. He didn't need a prophetess.
On that note, we say goodbye. Savvy, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Olivia, Rosina, guys. So we are at the end of today's episode. It's been really great. Thank you, ladies, for your time. And of course, to you, audience. Chale, you watch us every single week. We totally appreciate that. Big thank you to our sponsor, Vodafone, as well. We'll be back same time next week. Don't forget, find us on social media. Have a chat. Send us a DM. Good night.